Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley,
I am. Come on, hi guys.
and we're here to talk about the correct ships in Picard. There's actually some canon-specific ships that were 100% correct in Picard that we had seen many times before, and Samuel and I actually seen them in person,
Yes.
both in Vegas and in Birmingham. So
Well, a couple of ships, some less seen, some more seen, and it was the ones that are less seen. I have pictures of because I took them at Vegas and Birmingham. Yeah, this is the Picard archive slash museumy thing that he goes to in the show to find the Data's painting that shows Darja's face, or at least Data's daughter's face, which Darja is based off of. And that is kind of the canon room. You know, there's new uniforms, there's new Alcars, there's new things. That's the canon room. It's all canon. It's all what we know. It.
maybe it's protected from a force field that maintains the canonness of it.
Oh, you mean like a Voyager with the time Trevelyan? There we go. Yeah, temporal shielding to be all correct. But yeah, he has lots of great things, some Klingon props, all of his awards, which we don't get to see, but we got to see him in real life. It's really nice artwork and such, and the banner, of course, which I guess they chose to go back to Enterprise D and save because that ship crashed.
Or they just replicated a new one.
I assumed that, but yeah. At what point do you care if it's a real one or replicated one? Because he has at the back, you can see his most prized possession of the rock statues thing. Like, does he care if it's a real one? If he's just like casually on display?
Maybe the real one's in his house. This is a replica. Who knows?
I mean, what point do you care?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Replicate things.
Well, for something like that, something that's ancient like that, I'd want the real thing just because they're so rare. But
it's fair to say these ships are not shrunk down real ships, so they are replicated.
I was hoping so. Actually, I was going to start with the one we saw the least, the Sovereign class, because it is there. It's right above the Batleth and stuff. But you get a quick glimpse of it, so nothing special.
You would think that would be more pride of place, because that's like
yeah,
the E.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah,
but luckily, I took a picture. I guess I matched the angle for a movie. So here it is, Stu. I did a comparison shot of the same miniature because they were built for. Because some people were asking on Facebook, oh, what were these made for? Are these from the show? Are these film miniatures? No, no, they were made for this episode. And then, I mean, we'll take them around the country or countries. So yeah, that's there we go. What do you think?
Well, I was impressed to see it. I was really glad to see these ships in this room, even though we've got hints of Discovery ships in the short. We've got Discovery shuttles everywhere. Well, at least we have these. So it's an indication that these were the ships he was in command of, unchanged. Hope to see some of them sometime in the series. We don't know.
We did obviously see the Galaxy class at the start, and obviously as a hologram next episode. But really, we want to see the E in person. We want to see flashbacks to the evacuation. We want to see, live action stuff. Would be nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's hope that there's other canon ships in the show. Even Akira's and stuff would be cool, but we'll see. But yeah, it was really neat to see these models in person twice before the show even aired, and to know that they were the same models that are actually in the show, I think is really, really cool because we're so close to them. I got some great pictures myself of them, and yeah, I mean, they look great.
In terms of accuracy, these aren't like the Eagle Moss ones. They aren't prints from, because I think you can tell they're not 3D prints in the same way. Like, they're not just not a carbon copy 3D print. They're like different pieces and they're sculpted. Like, I think it was rebuilt for this, because you can kind of see that they're accurate, but they stopped at a certain level of detail because they're missing a ton of little things. They just didn't feel the need to continue. Like, straight away you can see that the shuttle bay window is just blank, which they could have just painted it in. They didn't, but you can still see the lines, but they just didn't continue.
Yeah, well, it's stuff that nobody's going to notice when it's on display or whatever.
We didn't even see the back. I mean, it was like 300 pixels wide in the show. So yeah.
Yeah. So there's not much hope of probably seeing any of these again. But anyway, it was nice to see them.
And in person, they felt really good. Give them credit.
Yeah.
In person, they felt really good.
Let's move on to the Constellation.
Yep.
So
nice hero shot.
This is one of his command before the Enterprise, the Stargazer. And this is not the model that was in his office, because that was yellow, had a different registry number. It wasn't actually the Stargazer in his office. A lot of people have mentioned that, oh, it's the same one in his ready room, and it really isn't, but that's okay. Unless they decided to repaint it finally. It's one of those kits that he just didn't bother painting, and finally said,
had to recover from the wreckage. I mean, these are all new things,
Yeah. But no, it looks fantastic as well. Some good detail on it, and it was just great to see. It was really a nice thing to see.
And again, exactly the same as the Sovereign. You can see you got some great comparisons here. It looks great. They just didn't do any greebling. Like, they just didn't do any actual detailing. Although it's got more red hatch things than are on the original model. So I'm wondering if that's maybe they use reference in the very last version of the miniature rather than the Stargazer or peak performance, because it wasn't a little bit later, like briefly, and obviously it gets repainted. So I think it might have been based on that version. But I mean, looks nice. I kind of like it being cleaner, honestly, than all the Greeblies. I mean, not like it more, but I like seeing like a clean, refit version almost.
It's there, which is great. But one of the most prominent pieces that we saw, because it was right in front of the camera as he walks in the door, is the Captain's Yacht, which we saw in Insurrection. Very cool looking little ship. I wish we would have saw more of it, and here it is. They granted my wish.
It's not in the movie that much, nor is the model particularly good, so I used Fabio's references from Eagle Moss, where they rebuilt, because Insurrection models were lost, so they rebuilt it based on John Eaves' original sketches and built it higher detail than in the movie, because he thought, why not? So you can see the reference. But I mean, they most of the time try and keep these things accurate, although they sometimes divert a bit. Looks good. Now this, I wouldn't be surprised if they just used the model from Fabio, because it was better than other ones. I wouldn't be surprised if this one looks just a print of it. Although they've shown they don't just use Eagle Moss. I mean, yes, they have to convert the files from Eagle Moss to Maya, but I mean, you can do that. I've done that. People in my team have done that. It's not hard, and it would take less time than to build this from scratch. For example, with Children of Mars, they should have used like Eagle Moss version. They said, "Hey, Fabio, Eagle Moss, can we get the Fabio Akira?" And it'll take less time, to what I mean, easy things I could have done. So I wonder if this is a version of that. But yeah, it looks more detailed than the other ships. The old panel.
Yeah, well, it's a smaller ship, so when you upscale, it's the size of, and have them be the same size, so you're going to see more detail. And the last one, we'll just mention it, is the Enterprise D. It's hanging behind him on the wall. It's not on a stand. And, we saw it in the dream sequence. It was great to see it twice. So I'm just happy that they're including these canon ships in some form in the show, even if they choose to crap all over everything else later. These are here. It's a little piece of history. The archives, right? So it's good to see that.
Like, I'm wondering if this was a reshoot. Somewhere down the production, they said, "Hey, let's give the fans something really nice to salivate on, because all of this is brownie points." But it's all in one room. Now, obviously, it contextually makes sense, but it'd be nicer if, like, the E-model was on his desk or in his living room. Little things as you go through the series, you see them, rather than, here's all your canon references in one room. Be grateful, Star Trek fans, and then we'll never see anything again. You know what I mean? Well, we had a Bat'leth in one episode, but now we've got our own Bat'leth because we want to have our own designs. So it kind of feels like almost they said, yeah, we'll throw this in. And then they thought, well, actually, let's do an exhibition, because they got a lot of great press for having the exhibition in several places. I think they used it 3 times, if not 4. So it kind of almost feels like a half of the production, because, I mean, like I said, you could easily have shot this, the painting in a blank room. And in fact, they do all of it in close-ups. And you don't see these things behind him, like, for a lot of those shots. So it's not as if they couldn't add this as a walk-in and everything else was already filmed. You know what I mean? But, nice to see. But it feels kind of like just a brownie point gainer rather than being clever. Like I say, like even when he wakes up from seeing the dream of the painting, have him wake up and have the captain's yacht be right on his desk. Like, that's a cleverer reference than here, Or like have the rock thing, the whatever it's called from Generations, be like on his coffee table. That's smarter than just in a museum.
So I would assume that the Enterprise D might have more pride of place even than the Sovereign, personally. I mean, it would be nice to have it in the middle of the room on the table when he walks in. Because it was a big model. It was bigger than any of the other ones when we saw it. So it would have been great to see that in the middle and have him be like, computer, move, and materialize on the wall or something. Because you really don't get much of a glimpse of it, and maybe it's because we saw it in the dream sequence. They're figuring, it's fine, you don't need to see it. But it's the Enterprise D. We want to see that thing.
And obviously, he expressed his special interest in the ship from the start. You know, I mean, that's his baby, because that was, you know, Stargazer was his first command, which he lost, and then to go from that to be the flagship captain of the Enterprise, one of the previous 5. I mean, that as a moment, that's like, I have reached the point. You know, that's where he felt most at home. So yeah, I assume it'd be more pride of place than just hanging on a wall like that. That felt weird out of all the things.
Anyway, guys,
Yes.
So did you guys enjoy seeing these ships? I know a lot of people did. So let us know what your thoughts.
Hopefully everyone did,
down
Stuart,
below.
to be honest.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. So let us know your thoughts down below. And as always, guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click the notification icon and check back with us all the time. We do lives every week, and we also have regular episodes every Saturday, plus a lot of bonus sub videos during the week when we have a new show coming out, which we do with Picard now. So
Always
check 'em out.
stuff. Always stuff to find.
Always stuff to talk about when you're a Trekkie like us.
And we like, because we found that looking at like a small thing, but really dive into it and looking at the references to canon and other shows, I mean, you can make a big discussion out of a small thing, and not just be clickbaity or regurgitation. Like, we love these debates, and they really make this week on week like evolution of the show so much more vibrant, because you're really like immersing yourself in the world. And for you guys that don't even necessarily realize these things, you get to enjoy it in a 10-minute bite. Awesome, everyone wins. If you want to make us win even more, Patreon, great way of supporting us, or join our Super Chat lives, or one-time donation at Trekyards.com, or buy merch from things down below, or buy Eagle Moss. Use the code Trekyards at checkout and save money. So you can buy yourself an Enterprise D, E, Captain's Yacht, and Stargazer, or XL of several of those with the code Trekyards. There you go.
Hopefully we'll have more of these ships to look at and examine in the future, but until then, I guess we'll see you next time.
Connor Cockins. Bye, guys.